Are you alright, mate? Are you up? Hey, hello? Oh, there you are. Alright, yeah, I know what, it's been, 10 months is it, since we've done a video for this channel? Yeah, but time to get up. It's the annual YouTube bloggers match. yeah, the one time a year I make a video for this channel, I know. But yeah, when you're ready, we'll get cracking and film something for this channel. Alright, I'll let you get your bearings. Simon, you got a spare net, please? I actually think it may be the biggest one so far in the match, but we're very early days, we're only an hour or so in. No kidding, 5 minutes left. Okay then, time you got out of bed. And that's right, finally doing a video for my Nothing But Fishing channel. It's been 10 months since the last YouTube bloggers match, and every year I probably have the intention of doing some more videos on this channel every year, and every year I don't get around to doing it. No excuses really, but well, kind of is. My job is filming fishing videos for a living and putting them out. I do probably dozens and dozens a year, but I know it's not quite the same as this channel. But here you are, my annual video from the YouTube bloggers match. We are at Coken Farm today on Long Lakes, a venue I've done a fair few sessions for before, both on this channel and for Carpology as well, and every time I've generally done quite well. So we started off doing a loop around the lake, kind of the watercraft draw. Again, we all picked out a ping pong ball from a tub. We each had a number on, and then that number represented what number you got to choose your swim. I got number 5, and I picked pretty much the swim I wanted. This is peg number 47. And as you can see, this is the bit of water I've got. So my border goes up to about there and across to midway between the island and that island. So I've clipped up 15 wraps is exactly, well, 9-foot rods, distance sticks is 15 wraps. Don't know what that is in 12. Is to exactly that island. I'm just going to put each rod at 15 wraps, one there, there, and there. And again, spodding out some bait over the top of it. And you guessed it, solid bags all the way. Got a few more spare tied up, so they're ready to be fired out. Now the match is kind of already started. There's no strict start time and end time, although I expect the end time is a bit more regimented than the start. So some people have already got some rods out. Leon next door has already had, is that 2 landed now? Have you landed that one? No. Oh, yeah, 3 bites, 1 landed. Yeah. All right, so the ratio is not great over there, hook to land ratio, but he's getting lots of bites. To my left is Simon Dew. Now, if you remember Simon Dew from Carpology, if you watched there as well, there he is waving. We've got a little bit of a unofficial, official, unofficial grudge match, rematch thing going on. Well, I think we have. We did a versus match a few weeks back on Carpology, and that was at Woodside Lakes. If you haven't seen that, go over to Carpology, plug on there, where we had a match. It was very tough conditions, had a few fish. So this one is obviously it's the main YouTube blogger social and everything, but as we've come up right next to each other, I think it's going to be a little mini match. Whether you want it or not, there's a mini match going on. So we'll see how it goes. But I've had some grub, time to get the rods out and hopefully start catching as many fish as Leon's getting bites as well. So that's plan of attack. 48 hours here. Bit of a breeze, which is quite nice because the UK's just had that intense heat, which I was actually in Holland for. I'll do a bit more of a life update in a minute for those of you that don't follow me on social media. But for now, let's get the rods out and hopefully start getting some fish on the bank. It's biggest fish wins. Don't know if I mentioned that. So I'm gonna go for as many bites as possible and hope that 1 or 2 of them are a bit bigger. Let's get cracking. well, same as last time. Whoa, 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 whoa. The spodding over the top of the rods, they don't seem to spit air bite. If anything, it spurs them on, because as I'm spodding, I'm on my 4th spod, my left hand rod has gone off. It's now gone under that rod. Come on. Whee! First of the match. And with my tactics, I know I'm focused on the island, with my tactics I'm just going to cut the line, put another bag on, ping it straight back out, then deal with the fish, let him rest a second. Sweet. And we're underway. Well, it's been about 2 minutes since I landed that fish, and already the rod's back out, and I was going to put a few more spods out and see if we can get this show on the road properly. I'm just putting out flake at the moment, and it was as I was spodding that rod went off. It's exactly the same I experienced last time I was fishing here with a couple of mates. It was kind of, the more effort you put in, the more bites you get. I may have jinxed it already, but the fact that they don't seem to spook off the spod, and every experience I've ever had of here is they respond positively to the sound of a spod and bait falling through the water. And interestingly, that bite was actually on the furthest left rod, which is sort of, if they drew a line between the point of the island across to the other island, that's the one that's about a rod length or so off, which I hadn't yet put any spods on. But they're all in that same line, so I'm sure that putting bait on the 15 wraps line that I'm doing, same with the spod, it's going to sprinkle bait along that line, and I'm sure that as fish move round, I'll get hopefully multiple bites. And sure enough, well, hopefully one of those will end up being a bigger fish. I'm just putting the flake out for now because it's quite a preoccupied sort of food. They'd be rummaging around for a long time trying to get as much of this as they can. And as it flutters down through the water, it just spreads over a wider area. So that should do the job for now. And it's a nice and comfortable distance here. It's easy fishing. And I may find that if fishing gets a bit manic, which I have experienced on it before, I may go down to 2 rods. It's quite a narrow opening of the front of this swim, so landing fish, that one tried to tangle both of them up. I got away with it, but it could get a bit manic, especially if it carries on into the night. So a few more spods of the flake, and maybe a few just whole boilies as well and pellet, just to get the swim going, and then it'll be top up spods after that. Sounds like a bite. Double bubble. Well, a little update. I've had to borrow a net from Leon next door. I haven't had a chance to deal with the first one, or the second one, or the third one. And I'm out of bags that have tied up, so time to go through these fish. I'm going to log every single fish, weigh them just from my own records, and hopefully one of them will be a bigger one. But they certainly respond to spodding out. Well, here we have fish number 1. Very readily one on the mat. This one's rested the longest because I had that flurry of fish, and at 13 pound it got me off the mark. I've just slipped back fish number 3, which was an 11 pound common, and this one's ready to go back, but the biggest one of the 3, I think, was fish number 2. So we'll stick this one back and get number 2 out. And there we go. As I thought, fish number 2 is the biggest at £16.10. I actually think it may be the biggest one so far in the match, but we're very early days, we're only an hour or so in. So very, very welcome. And funnily enough, while I've been dealing with these fish and not putting bait out and making sure I've got 3 rods out, the bites have stopped. So I've got to tie up a few more bags, ping the 3rd one back out, put a few more spods over the top, and hopefully we can have a repeat of that little flurry of action. Keep on doing that, I'm sure they'll slowly creep up. Averages, law of averages has got to promote that theory. They're all very, very lively, like this one. So I'm not going to keep them out any longer than I need to. I'm getting back. That's the 3 fish slipped back now, and the weather is starting to turn a little bit. It's forecast, well, yellow weather warning for thunderstorms in this area. We've been lucky so far. We've got all set up. I've had 3 fish each, but the weather's just starting to turn. It's coming really dark, and just getting I think we're on the outskirts of quite a heavy downpour, so it might get a bit worse. I'm trying to get some solid bags done before the rain gets really bad, And if you follow us on Carpology, you will have seen my solid bag set up probably a dozen times already this year. It's my go-to method really in most places now. Really simple, short, braided hook link, really supple, probably only about 4-5 inches at a max. Generally tidy stem, 2.5 to 3 ounce lead, filled with a bit of ground bait at the very bottom of the bag so you can really compact the corners in and push them in. Tiny hook baits, I think they're 6mm, something like that. Tiny little pop-ups on a simple shrink tube on the shank. It's like a D sort of effect with the hair, filled with tiny pellets, topped off like that, and there we are, we're done. I put the hook bait on one side, lead on the other, same as before, or same as I have been doing for ages, and that is it. And so far, 3 bites, 3 landed. It's a barbless hook rule on this place, so I'm fishing not locked up, but it takes a lot of effort for them to start taking my line off the clutch, so that even if it takes me a few seconds to get to the rod, there's not much chance of getting any give with the line. And then once I'm on the fish, I'm not bullying them, but I'm not giving them any chance to get any kind of slack, of course, as you'd expect with fishing barbless venue. So that's the method. And so far, 3 bites, 3 landed. Oh, the rain's trying to come in here, so I'm sure I'm going to get some wet PVA in a second, but that is 1 bag done. I'm going to ping this one out and then do the other 2 spare ones. So I've got 3 rods fishing and get 2 more ready in case I start getting some bites. But the wind is starting to push into my swim, sorry. When I set up, the wind was pushing the other way, so I thought, well, absolutely fine, but it started pushing to me. And if that rain picks up, I'm sure I'm going to get a little bit wet. So let's just quickly cover everything up before the rain gets worse. Where have I lost the bucket lid there? And there we are, solid bag done. So I've got to wrap that out to 15, like I said, 9-foot wrapping sticks at 15. That's going out just off the island by a couple of rod lengths. So that's one that's done 2 bites, I believe, and 1 on the middle one, which is interesting. So it shows that the fish sort of coming along. That must be the first rig they're coming to. Just get this out so we're fishing efficiently with 3 rods, get a couple more knocked up, and then I think it's a case of trying to stay dry because it is come over pitch black.
Make way for Lottie.
I don't have to be as professional in one of my videos.
I was literally like, what the I couldn't work out where that was coming from.
Well, apologies for the lack of filming. The weather has been absolutely horrendous, and then I've been getting bites throughout the rain as well. Had a bit of a mare just then, and I got no rods in the water because I had this fish, which I'm about to show you. Not long after, had a 5th fish which I've weighed as a common at £9.10. This one's £9.8, so both fairly small. And then I had a 3rd bite on the 1 remaining rod, which I'm pretty sure was a catfish because it absolutely beasted me and then came off down the margin, so I haven't got that one to show you. But this one being the prettiest one out of the 2 I have just landed. And at £9.8, I think it's the smallest one I've had, and probably one of the smaller ones in the match, but I think you'd agree, a beautiful little fish. So very, very welcome. So I'm going to stick this one back. I've now got all my bags remade up because whilst I was sheltering from the rain with no rods in the water, I got everything ready. He's ready to go back again already because he was the first one out of the 3 takes, so he's a bit lively after rested. I'm going to ping all 3 back out, put a bit more bait out there as well, and we go again, and hopefully that's the last of the rain. It's been pretty grim, but it does look quite dark on the horizon again. Hey ho. Well, that's all 3 now absolutely out on the money, and I'll put all 3 of them much tighter together now, so that I can bait up on a much tighter spot rather than spreading the bait and potentially making the move around. Did that just come out the clip? Yes, it did. Right. So I'm gonna have to eyeball the next one and reclip up. But yeah, rather than spreading them out along the island, I've actually decided to bring them much closer together. So I've still got the one couple of rod lengths off the island, one right on the point of the island, and then one just in, so that yeah, they're only a couple of rod lengths apart now, rather than 3 or 4 or 5 rod lengths spread. So all this bait's going to go much more concentrated. Fish come round into an area. I'd like to think they'd stay more concentrated rather than moving around. And I'm also probably tonight, oh yeah, I forgot about the clip. Also tonight I'm probably going to bring it into just 2 rods, because 3 rods is okay in the day, but I don't fancy my chances of landing every fish, or at least not wiping myself out during the night with 3 out, because it can get a bit manic, especially when they charge down the margin, or if I hook a catfish again like I did a minute ago. So that's the plan of attack. But 5 fish, 1 lost. I think I'm doing all right so far. My approach is working. And there we have it, fish number 7, and potentially one of the last ones before the sunset. The sun's just starting to go down. It's been a lovely evening. The rain finally eased off and the sun's come out. Just had a steak and salad, so lovely food. Final cider probably for the evening. Hopefully those swans don't wipe me out, which they're just about to swim through my lines. But yeah, number 7. And this is pretty much the average size of all the commons I've had today. This one has £10.7, I think it was. Very much like peas in a pod, so I haven't been showing you the wall. And the mirrors have been prettier, I think. So just thought I'd show you, this is the sort of stamp of commons I've been having so far. So that's 8 bites, 7 landed. And the one to beat now is £25 from Ben Stager, who's on the other side of the lake, I believe. Have just had a beep on that left-hand rod, but that could well be the swans. So that's now 2 bites, I believe, middle rod and left-hand rod. So the ones right on the point of the island or just off. The right-hand rod, although it's only, like I said, about 9 foot away from the middle rod, hasn't done anything as of yet. So if I'm going to bring a rod in this evening, it's probably going to be the one on the right-hand side of the spot, and then just stick with 2, just for ease, going into the darkness. Let's get this one back, and maybe we can get into double figures before I go to bed. Another 3 fish, I think it's doable. Let's get this one back. Well, good morning all. Unfortunately, we stayed on 7 fish before bed. I was hoping to get up to double figures and no more fish in the night. But the main reason for not having anything in the night was probably down to the fact that I wound all 3 rods in before I went to bed. I was very, very tired last night. If you don't follow me on social media, then you won't have seen that the night before the YouTube Bloggers Match, I just got back from a week in Holland, which was a big sort of party festival thing in Nijmegen called Vierdaagse. So I've been pretty busy all before then, busy with work before that. So long old week, early hours, flying back, and then up here first thing in the morning yesterday. So my body was just saying, you need to sleep or else you're not going to fish very efficiently, and I'm probably going to be grumpy. Especially if I'm going to have a few ciders tonight with everyone. I want to be a bit more awake for that. So I brought all the rods in, so no surprise that none of the rods went off, and I slept beautifully. I probably got a good 7 hours sleep. So I normally get a nice B-roll sequence of the sunrise. It was a lovely misty morning, but I'm afraid this morning all you got was the shots I got from my phone when I got up for our morning wee, because I'm at that age now where I still can't stay in bed. Even if I'm extremely tired, my bladder wakes me up. So even at the age of 28, have been for the last few years, I'm woken by my bladder. But anyway, it was a beautiful morning, and I think you're going to have to watch some of the other people's blogs for some nice B-roll sequences, because I saw some photos on the group chat this morning of an absolutely beautiful sunrise. What I saw was sort of purpley colours. I think it went all orange and all sorts. But I got a good few hours sleep after my week, and I'm now completely ready to attack the day in the same method as before. Nice and relaxed start, just get these bags done. They're already wrapped up. I wrapped them up once I wound them in last night, so just a case of get the bags on, ping them out, a few more spods of bait over the top, and we just repeat exactly what we did yesterday, and hopefully a slightly bigger fish comes along. But if not, my target is to at least get into double figures of fish, and I would like to have a 20 out of the mix of them, just something a bit bigger. I think 25 is a pretty good standard to beat, because I'm not sure there's a hell of a lot of fish bigger than that. I think they go up to low 30s in here now, but when most of the fish we're catching are these low doubles and singles, it's quite a hard task to achieve to catch up with Ben, who's on 25 pounds. So that could stay until the end, who knows. But with as many fish coming out of that as there are, there's every chance that someone will beat that. Whether that's me, I don't know. But all I can do is do my best in this swim, completely attack it the same way I did yesterday, which did be bites. Hope, excuse me, hope for the best. Spooked a fish as it landed. Come off already. As I'm spodding though. There we go. Oh, it's coming back up. 3 fish on the bounce I've lost now. Barbless. Well, as you've probably realised from that sequence of events, rods out, baiting up, and then 2 bites, but then no fish to show for the camera. I've lost the 2 bites I had this morning. So a complete reassess again. All the rigs I was using, and I've now changed over from, were a straight point. I'm now gonna go over to a beaked point and a slightly different pattern of hook. Whereas before I was using just like a curve shank or a boilie shank, I'm not sure the exact name of it, but it was a basic curve shank type thing with a straight point. Normally I'd use a microbarb, so no issues there. I've never had any issues with losing fish. I barely ever lose fish. So the only reason I can think of is because it's a barbless water. So I'm changing the hook pattern over just for my barbless sort of setup, and I've gone to a size 8 claw. So instead of having a curve shank, I've now got a much more of aggressive angular type hook, and it's also a beak point. So I'm hoping that those 2 things on the change of the hook pattern will reduce the risk of losing fish. Because of those angles, it should theoretically hold the hook in position a bit better. I'm doing everything I can to minimize the risk of losing fish. I'm fishing almost locked up. I'm sitting right behind the rods, and when I'm playing the fish, I'm not giving them any slack whatsoever, yet they're still just somehow managing to ditch the hooks. It's very, very frustrating. That's 7 landed, 4 lost, so 11 bites, 4 lost. I'd rather stop losing them and catching some. So I've changed them over. I've actually got 1 bag left of the previous rigs, and because it's such a faff tying them back up, that one is going to go back out. But there, it should be okay. I mean, I've not lost every single fish, so hopefully I'll land one on that. But all the others are now on claw with a beaked point. So you probably can't see, it's probably focused on my face, but much more simple. Everything else has been kept the same, and it's just gonna go out on solid bags, all clipped up, back out, a few more spods again, because it's been about an hour since I've had rods in the water. Fish has just rolled right on that spot actually, so maybe not needing to put any bait out yet. But that's the plan of attack, get them out and stop losing fish. Right, time to see if the rig changes pays off. I've only just put the rods back out, and as I was spodding once again, I was on my second spod, just filled up the 3rd spod, and the left-hand rod, which is the furthest left, has gone off. I'm playing it exactly the same way. I mean, I know that if this comes in, I can't fully put it down to the hook change, but I really want to get this one in, because 3 losses on the bounce, I don't want to make that 4 losses on the bounce, because that will really do my head in. So try and get it away from these reeds down the margin. They've all done the same. And once I get quite close in, I've got to be careful, because they then bolt, because it gets really shallow just off the rod tips. There he is. Come on. Easy in, yes. Oh, the run of losses is over. And there we go, finally, fish number 8. After the little change, whether that was the difference, I don't know. But it was landed, and that's ending the run of losses, hopefully for the duration of the rest of the session. But at £10.4, no monster, but it does mean another fish on the bank. So that's, what, 12 bites, 8 landed. Hopefully we continue to land each bite from now on. Happy days, it's getting back. Well, another one lost, but I don't think that's anything to do with rigs or anything. That was 100% a catfish, the last bite I just had. Quite a finicky bite. I found that last time I fished it when I had a catfish. The bites were almost like a bream, almost like they didn't know they were hooked until I started playing it and the rod hooked over. I'm using my 9-foot, 3.5 pound scopes here, and it was bent pretty hard. And my clutch again was pretty tight, and it just lunged forward. I could not stop it. It's belted towards the island, and it's made me realise just how undercut the island is, because the line went straight at the island and was still stripping line, and eventually it just done the hook. So nothing I could have done more than that. I couldn't fish any more sort of tight than I was. So probably quite a decent sized catfish, that one that I've just lost. Not the end of the world, because they aren't really my cup of tea. Of course, if I landed one that was the personal best, I'd be happy, I suppose, but I'm here for the carp. But yeah, 100% that was a catfish. So rods are still doing the same, just putting them back out in the same spots and hoping for the best. I'm still going with the same tactic of as many bites as possible, many fish on the bank as possible. I might catch a bigger one, but that's now, I think I've caught 8 fish, 5 lost, but I'm pretty confident at least 2 of those were catfish. So that's the scores on the doors right now. The top fish is still £25, less than 24 hours to go. A fish just rolled right over my left hand rod. And I think we are winding in for 5 o'clock, going down to Hugh and Sean Swim, the fishing bloggers. They're the ones that have organised this event once again this year. And so big thanks to them for organising it. And we're going to go down there, have a social. We got some food getting delivered from the cafe, which is on site here at Coken Farm. I think pretty much everyone ordered a mighty meaty pizza or something like that. So it's going to be a nice social down there. Don't have to cook anything ourselves. Have a few beers, chill out, and then get back this evening, put the rods back out. Is that going to go? Simon just had a liner next door. The fish have been coming out all over the place, especially directly opposite. It's been absolutely mad. So hopefully the fish that they've got in front of them at the moment will start to push across this way. The wind's picked up, it's pushing down this way. It looks absolutely spot on for some bites. But it's just been a bit different to what it was yesterday, where I couldn't really get much wrong. It's bites after bites, but it's just the way it is. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've got a few hours till wind in, going down for the social, and then rods out again tonight for the final stage into tomorrow morning. Oh, and also I'm being really lazy and just fishing and chilling out, because it's been such a manic few weeks. I fancy just chilling out behind the rods. If you want to see a video where every other blogger is mentioned and someone goes round, that's exactly what the fishing bloggers have just done. So they've just been past me and gone round a bit more. So do check out their video. They're the organisers of this event, and they've gone around every single swim, checking out people's tactics, their YouTube channels and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to be really lazy and push you over to their channel to see who else exactly is here. We'll have a little social later on with everyone, but I'm probably not going to go around with the camera saying hello to everyone. Apologies. Always hope for a bite on camera whilst I'm talking. Wasn't to be. Well, today has been pretty dead. Completely different to yesterday. I'm using exactly the same tactics as yesterday. I'm topping up the swim when I think I should have had a bite. It just seems that the fish just aren't here. Simon's had another one next door. I think it was 1912, something like that. So another nice sized fish. I really want to catch something a bit bigger, because the average fish for me has been around the 10-11 pound mark. A couple of lower to mid doubles. But it's been really quiet today. After that lost fish, the catfish, I've not had anything else. The rods are in positions I know was doing bites yesterday, so I simply think it is down to the fact that there just can't be fish in front of me. Opposite have been hauling all day, so they seem to be held up that side. So maybe they'll move across later on, and we'll start catching a few more this side. It's been quiet next door in Leon's swim. Stu's just had one. It's been quiet all day. So I'm really at a loss of what else to do. I think there isn't anything else I can really do, other than I might attempt Delia Smith, see if she can bring some carp my way.
Where are you? Where are you? Let's be having you!
See if that works. No. I thought I was going to go then. Oh, just had a message, new winner. 27.2. Dan Jones. Lovely fish. So as I've just done this little piece, £27.2 is now the fish to beat from Dan Jones. He's done it again. One fish wonder. Well, good old Delia seems to have done the trick. The fish have turned up and it's become a bit manic. So I've now got 2 in nets. I've just lost one as well in amongst that. So 3 bites, 2 landed. And I think the one that I lost the fish on was the one rig that was still the one that I didn't change over. So I'm going to quickly change that and then put that in a bag. The rig's in here somewhere. And then chuck that back out. But at the moment it's almost impossible to keep the rods in the water. The only one that's not going is the one that didn't quite land on the spot. Where's that rig gone? Okay, well I got a missing rig, so I might just have to chuck this one back out. But yeah, all hands on deck. It's going a bit mental at the moment, so this is actually the quietest it's been for about 10 minutes. So if I can get this bag done and out, then I'm sitting pretty again. Fennel, what can I do for you? I haven't even been able to sink that line. That other bag's landed about 5 foot to the left of it. So it's like you just got to keep on it at the moment. Hope that you can capitalise on when they move on you. Right, where's that line? I think I'm alright. Simon? Simon?
Margaret! Margaret!
Simon?
Yes?
You got a spare net, please? Got a little mirror, then an alright common. I've only just put that one out, so it's not actually on the rest yet. As I cast that, it landed about 5 foot to the left of this. And this one went, then it went off.
No. Carnage.
I can't keep up with the bags.
Decent, eh?
No.
Bigger than the little...
Let's do the honours. Thank you very much.
No,
I think I'm going to have to
yeah, you might have to have a
reshuffle.
yeah.
Thank you.
Tidy up, mate. You need to get some footage of that though.
I know. Just keep running out of bags. Right, that one has just gone out, so I'll put it on a
Right,
rest.
I've only got one net left.
I got none.
On, right?
Thank you. Well, that sums up how it's been in this swim yesterday and what I've been hoping would happen again today, and it has just happened. Can't keep the rods in the water. Now we're 2 out. I'm going to have to start sticking some of these back because it's just a bit manic and I need to give a net back to Simon. So the first one I had, it's all right there. Tell you what, I'll try and get them all on camera. May as well, as we've got them all here. Madness. Fish number 1 of those 3. And if you can guess the weight, oh, I've got a bite. £10, 10, and I've got a bite on my left hand rod. You've seen it now. Oh, that just come off. Well, unfortunately, that bite I just had whilst filming the first fish of the 3 came off. Surprise, surprise. So the rig change hasn't made a difference. It's just living with barbless venue, unfortunately. So losing quite a lot, unfortunately. And hopefully those fish aren't swimming off damaged because of the barbless hook. But it is what it is. Anyway, this one's just a pound bigger at £11.10 and quite a pretty one. And I believe the 3rd fish is actually slightly bigger than those 2 as well. So put this one back and show you fish number 3. And there we go, £14.10, biggest of the day, not quite my biggest of the session, but going in the right direction from 10.10 to 11.10, I think it was, and now 14.10. Is that what I said? I think it was 14.10. But yeah, happy days, quite a flurry. I've now only got one rod in the water, which isn't exactly where I want it to be, and no surprises, it's not going off. So now I've only got the one rod in the water, I'm going to quickly tie up all my bags, clip up, get them all back out, and hope that the fish are still there. In fact, before that, I might put some spods out just to keep the fish in the area. But you've seen him. I'm getting a bit tired now, but it's good fun when a plan comes together. Right, there's 2 out on the spot. This one that hasn't gone off wasn't a million miles away, but it's just not done anything all day. So I'm going to bring it in and get a bag on it, clipped up, ready. So it's actually even quicker to get a rod back out on the spot when I'm getting bites, hopefully if I start getting bites again. So it's a bit more efficient than having 3 rods out when one's not actually doing anything, and just ping one out as soon as I get one in the net rather than cutting line and doing all sorts. It might make it fish more efficiently. Those 2 rods have only been doing, those 2 rods are the only 2 that have been doing the bites. So there's no point in keeping this one out that could potentially get tangled up or cause an issue with playing a fish or whatever. Just have this ready to get back out in case one of those 2 go off again, which I'm hoping will do soon. I have put about 8 spods over the top before I put them back out of Scopic Squid Flake. I'm now completely out of the flake. I've only got boilie and some pellet left. So top up spods from now on will be a bit more dense bait. The reason I was going for the Scopic Squid Flake is that it should sort of float down through the water column, it's spread out over a wider area, keep them grubbing about for longer, keeping them preoccupied in the area. The larger particles, once they've knocked that up, it's gone. But there is quite a lot of flake out there now, so I'm hoping that when the fish come round, they'll be preoccupied with that and I can keep on getting bites. But yeah, it's enough talking. I need to get some bags tied up because I've now got 3 rigs that aren't ready to go, and they could go at any second. So let's get them sorted. Okay, we are back in the game. Got one ready to go, all clipped up. Got another spare bag here. I've got one more bag to make. And then, yeah, that's the wind. And then, yeah, we're fishing efficiently. I think 2 rods is going to be the way forward. Whether I'm going to fish tonight, I don't know. I didn't fish last night because I just wanted some sleep and I caught enough fish in the day. And so far, I think I've caught enough today. I don't think I'm going to win. I think 27, I think I said to the camera, I did say it earlier because it came through whilst I was talking to you. It's still £27 something from Dan. So once again, he's the big fish king. He won it 2 years ago at Todburn Manor with a 31 something and maybe some ounces. He beat me by £1. I had a good session on that one, again using solid bags. If you haven't seen that one and want to go back and watch some previous YouTube bloggers matches, then go back and watch that one. I fished pretty hard on that one as well, and I had quite a few fish to just over £30, a fair few 20s, but it wasn't quite enough to beat the one big fish that Dan had last year. Jack Wheeler won it. Unfortunately couldn't be here this year due to personal reasons of family bereavement, so hopefully he's doing all right now. It's a shame he couldn't make it, but he had the biggest fish last year at the Digger Lakes, and then this year, like I said, Dan Jones is currently winning it again. But there's so many fish coming out, it could be anyone's game. There's a lot of catfish coming out as well. Fortunately, I haven't caught any yet. I'm sure if I caught a bigger one I wouldn't mind, but I'm not that keen on them and they're just wiping me out, and it doesn't do anything for the match either. So nice that Ben caught his first one earlier. That's Ben Stager, and I'm not sure if anyone else had any catfish. There's probably a few. There's a few new faces here. Again, I will tell you to go and look at the Fishing Bloggers TV or Carp King, because they've done loops of the lake saying hello to everyone. So if you want to see exactly who's here, then I do recommend you go over and watch them. I'm being a lazy bugger and fishing as hard as I can to try and catch some more fish. So yeah, you won't see that on my channel, I'm afraid, but it's good fun. It's nice to see some new faces and of course some old as well. And actually, one thing I forgot to say at any point in this video, because it's been so long since I last done a video, I don't know if any of you don't follow me on social media, you probably wouldn't have seen, I actually got married. I'm wearing my wedding ring around my necklace in case I don't lose it whilst I'm fishing. But yeah, I got married back in April to my Dutch wife. That's why I was over in Holland last week. We were seeing family and having a bit of a party as well. So yeah, if you haven't got me on social media and you didn't know that, I've been married 3.5 months. and I'm still going fishing, so I don't know what you're all on about. This whole ball and chain thing. Isn't that right, Marielle? I'm only joking, of course. She's not here. Oh, right. I don't know why I'm waffling. This is probably really boring, but I haven't done nothing but a fishing blog for a while. That's okay. And it's quite nice just chatting really casually to you all. Should be really flippant. Right, Si? Do some sleep. No, I'll probably lose it now, you know, in my luck. I've lost enough fish. But this is quite good that if I get this fish in, I've got that one ready to ping straight back out so that I'm still fishing efficiently. And once again, this is on the outer rod. It seems to be that that's done the most bites. So not the one that's really tight, you probably can't see me, not the one that's really tight to the island, but the one that's just off. I'm getting bites on the one by the island, but this one seems to always go off first. I've just gone under that rod. Let's see if we can keep him out from under there. Not proper match style fishing, look at that. Bringing the rod round to the lens and there's no one there to film it. Pulling focus. Good fun. This one feels a bit better. But then again, they've often felt quite good. Just come up to the surface. Whee. Whoa. It's not a very big fish, but he's just absolutely flat-rodded me. See if we can spin the camera around. Probably not focused or anything. Oh, powerful fish in here. 1 minute of recording left. Let's get it in. That SD card's about to run out of space, so you may see me land this or you may not. If I keep his head up here, no go that margin. Come on, get your head up. Hey, and he's in. And because that other rod's ready, I'm gonna go fire it straight back out. Fish number 14, 12 pound 6. So going back down in weight. I was hoping to keep on going up, but we've gone back down by 2 pounds or so. But the bites are still coming. Fishing a bit more efficiently now, so as I'm talking to you now, I've got 2 rods on the spot, so they could go off at any second. I know there's bait out there, so we're fishing very efficiently, and hopefully sometime soon another big one will come around, or a big one will come around for me. Just a 20 would be nice, just to have something a bit bigger on the next milestone, sort of a 20 pound plus. And that will do. 3 20s or 3 or 4 20s I think have come out. Ben just had a 26 something, so not quite taking the top spot, but some nice fish coming out around the lake. Let's get this one back. Well, it's 7 pound 8. It's probably the smallest one on the match, at least for me, but definitely the prettiest. Look at those scales. This will be absolutely beautiful when it's big. Well, it's beautiful now, but when that's put on a bit of weight, that'll be absolutely stunning. Make a lot of anglers happy. Very, very welcome. And that'll probably be the last one now. I've got to bring the rods in, go down for the social. I might put a few more spods out, just try and keep them in the area. I've got bags ready, rods clipped up, ready for when I get back. And it may not be the bigger ones I'm after, but he is very, very welcome. Absolutely perfect. He's getting back. Beautiful. So I'm back from the social. A few guys are still up there, but we're all sort of meandering back to our swims. And as I've got everything clipped up, it's just a case of pinging the rods back out. And hopefully I get a couple of bites before I go to bed. I'm thinking if it's manic again, I might wind the rods in and just get a good night's sleep, but set an alarm today so that I wake up early tomorrow, because I think I missed a bite window this morning. So I might set an alarm if I do go to bed early. If not, I'm going to fish through the night. We'll see how it goes. It's a classic case of play it by ear. I don't want to be up all night catching pasties. I want to get a good night's sleep, because we still got until about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning to fish. So there's still plenty of time tomorrow to have the rods out. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've had a few ciders. Ooh, well, just got back from the social and put the rods out. And the following 10, maybe 15 minutes resulted in 3 bites. But you probably guessed it. Only one of them landed, rather frustratingly. But here is the first bite, and hopefully the other 2 bites weren't as big as this one, because I finally broke the 20 pound barrier on this session at 20 pound 14 ounces. It's very, very welcome. I wanted to get a 20 on this trip, and I don't know how big the other 2 would have been. He's going to flip. but this one is very, very welcome. So putting out a few spods of bait. I probably put about 6-7 spods of bait out before I went to the social, just to try and get some activity going in the swim, some free bait, and it clearly paid off, because when I got back, like I said, 3 bites within the space of 10-15 minutes, one of which was almost a double take. But first bite I landed, second 2 I lost, but I'm very happy that I finally got a 20 out of this trip, so that's very welcome. It's not contending with the match, but that's 17 fish, another 2 lost. I dread to think how many it would have been if I had landed all the ones, but hey ho, it is what it is. Adhere to the rules. If I was fishing on a microbar venue, I'm sure I would have landed pretty much all of them, but it is what it is. Everyone's in the same boat here. That's what you have on hooking mats. Everyone's in the same boat here. Well, as he decided to turn himself around, there's the other side. Fairly plain looking fish, but very welcome. What I've been catching, mainly sort of 10-pounders. Double the weight of my average. Very welcome. Shame I didn't land those other 2, but this sort of takes the edge off losing those and all the other ones. Maybe it's just my rigs, who knows. But it's rigs I've used elsewhere on other venues and very, very rarely lost anything. So the losing rate has been the only downside to this session, but very welcome. Let's get in back and hopefully have a few more. And as it stands, I've got the energy to keep going into the night a little bit. So we might have a few more before morning. That's a bite. I was about to run through what I've caught last night. Nothing there, what the hell? Well, I thought that was going to be bite or fish number 22, but I've just lifted into absolutely nothing. I do think there's a few trailers going around in here, because some of the bites have been like that. You think you're in, lift into absolutely nothing. But anyway, from last night, got back from the social, as you saw, I had that 20-pound and 14 ounces, I think it was. So quite nice to get a 20 on this session. That was my kind of small personal goal, because I've had so many fish, it would be nice to catch something a bit bigger. So I finally achieved that. After that, I then had a 17-pound mirror. I think that was probably around midnight or just after. And then again, I had another bite at, I think, half two in the morning from a 10-pound common. And I was absolutely hanging. I just thought, that's it. I don't want to be getting up for these little commons all night. So I wound the rods in and left the swim completely line free until just gone 7 this morning, where I got the rods back out. First bite, lost it. Second bite landed. It was a little scaly mirror, so a really pretty one, like one of the ones I had yesterday. That sort of darker colour, really scaly. It was another one of those, but even smaller, probably about 6 pounds. So I slicked that one back, and I just had that random little occurrence that you saw as I sat down to get ready. So the fish are in the area. I have this morning put out another 5 spods of bait. I think I'm gonna just use it, the last bit of bait I have got on me, just because it's not gonna keep any longer. It was all been soaking in glug and stuff, so it's all gone a bit stodgy, so it needs to go out anyway. But that's not an issue, so I'm going to stick this rod back out on the spot, and I might put a few more spods out because there's only a few hours left of the match. It's 8:05, and I think the match stops at 11, I want to say. So there's only a few hours left, and I don't think there's going to be any kind of change in who's winning at the moment. That one that Dan had, the 27, I think it still is still holding the lead, and I think that will until the end, because there aren't many fish bigger than that in here, I don't think. But I can keep on plugging away. It'd be nice to end on another big fish for me, or another 20 or something this morning in daylight hours. But beggars can't be choosers. Just got to catch what's in front of me, and at the moment it seems to be small fish or trailers, or the odd catfish that swims through and snuffles the solid bag. They seem to like a solid bag on here as well. And last night, actually, talking about the cats, they were extremely active. I brought the rods in at one point, but you could hear them attacking the fry and sort of clicking, and noises that were clearly not carp, because they sounded pretty big, tail slaps, and it was all over the lake. So the catfish seemed extremely active last night, but luckily I didn't catch any, which is a good thing. And if I did hook one, I probably would have lost it anyway. That's how this session's gone. but it's been good fun. So yeah, a few hours left to go. We'll see if we can get a few more bites. We're now on 21 fish for, I think, 9 or 10 lost, which is never a nice ratio to lose that many fish. I think I worked it out. It was sort of every 2 fish landed, you lose 1, or at least for me. And everyone around the lake, I'm pretty sure everyone's lost at least 1 or 2. So it's not just me that's struggling. I guess when I'm getting as many bites as I am, it's going to look like I'm losing a lot more fish, but it's just law of averages, I think. Anyway, let's get this rod out on the left-hand spot, or the same spot but the left side. A few more spots of bait over, and see if we can hit it hard for the last few hours. I haven't had time to get that rod back out. I literally just turned the camera off and the other rod's away. Please stay on. It may not be exposed correctly or focused. But I literally turned the camera off, went to put the camera there to film me casting out, and this one's gone off. Oh. Well, it's definitely not a big one. It's about £8 common. But as I said, I can only catch the fish around in front of me. So that's fish number 22. And as this rod's ready, we'll ping this one out. Oh, that's the one. Oh, that's a bite. As quick as that, we're fishing on the spot again. Right, I'm not going to get this fish out. You've seen a couple of the £10 commons I've had. It's the exact replica of those, so you're not going to see anything new here. I think the mirrors are the pretty ones, but it's still good fun getting the bites. Yeah, let's unhook him and ping a rod back out. Well, I've decided to put the third rod out for the final hour and a half rather than leaving it up against the bivvy ready to ping back out. I thought I'll have 3 on the spot, just up my chances of getting a bite quicker whilst they're out, because I haven't got much long left. It's not kind of a keep on getting the rod out time now. It's just going to be a case of trying to get some bites and hope that there's still a chance in the last hour and a half to catch something a bit bigger, even just for me. I don't think anyone else is going to take the lead now, but it'd still be nice to end on a slightly larger fish than the average I have been having. So 3 rods on the spot. Already had a touch on the middle one, so I don't think it'll be long till the rod goes off. Quite a bit of bait out there because I finished off all my spod mix before I went to the toilet. So the swim's been rested for 20 minutes as well. So hopefully a quick bite is on the cards. Oh, he's in. It's not a £10 common. It's a £10 mirror. Well, one in the net, and the middle rod's just gone off. I haven't had a chance to tie up a bag yet on the rod. I've just had one. Come on, he's in. Oh. Yeah, he's a bit better. Right, so as I've got 2 in the net, I'm going to release the smaller mirror and show you the second one. So I've got a net back. Well, I was going to slip this one back, but he's fairly pretty, and it could be some of the last fish of the match. Every single fish has been like this on the mat, so I expect everyone's blog is going to have several people getting tail slapped by these little fish. You've seen him. He's not the biggest, but very welcome. And I just lost one on the last rod that was out, so I've now not really got any rods fished. I just pinged the rig back out with no bag just while I'm filming these fish. The next one's a bit nicer and a bit bigger, so I'll show you in. And here's the bigger one of the 2. Not as big as I first thought when it went in, £14.8 I think it was, but still very welcome, and it's a very pretty one as well. So that was 3 bites, 2 landed. So I will work out at the end how many I should have been on if I landed them all, but still, I think that's 24 landed now, probably 10 so lost. So I can't complain at how many I have caught. And I don't think any of the ones I lost were monsters, so I'm not too concerned either. Very welcome. Let's get it back. I think I've got about an hour left quickly knock out last 3 bags, ping them out, and see if we can get another final flurry. Happy days. We've got just over 15 minutes left. Don't think this is the monster I was after, and it's come off. I'm so done with this lake now. 9 minutes to go. One lonely looking rod left, still on the prime spot, which has actually done the most bites. So there's every chance of one more bite, but I've just lost the right hand fish and then the left hand fish, or maybe the other way around. One of them I lifted into virtually nothing. The other one I played all the way to the margin. Again, felt small but pinged off. So I've just worked out, I've been logging every fish I've had. I've landed 24 and I've lost 11. So pretty frustrating. I don't think I've lost any big ones. The average stamp I've been having in this swim have been sort of scraper doubles, the odd slightly bigger one. So I don't think I've had any bigger fish from me. The people that have had the bigger fish haven't had as many. They've been sort of sole fish coming around. So I think the bigger ones maybe don't hang around with the whole shoals of smaller ones. And this has definitely been a swim where once they come round me, I get several bites quickly. That's why I've been fishing so efficiently and sort of getting bags straight on the spot, because when that window's there, I want to catch as many as I can. The law of averages I was hoping was going to be my friend and I'd manage a bigger one. It wasn't to be, but it's what this venue's good for. It's good for a good few bites. I think the last time I fished here I had 29 fish and probably lost about 10 as well. So it just seems to be part of the parcel of fishing barbless hooks in the way I fish them, with a solid bag, sort of 4.5 inch hook link. It's exactly the same rig I use when I use it microbarb and other venues, and I've never had any issues with dropping fish. So it's really thrown me a curveball having to use a barbless hook, because I very rarely have to use them, or fish venues that have a barbless rule. So it's thrown me a little bit, which means I'm going to pose a question to you guys. Have you got any particular hook pattern that you find and size on barbless waters that you are trusting in, and especially specifically for solid bags? So I'm using, as you saw, probably hook links this sort of size, 4 or 5 inches, and I have actually gone down to a size 8 because I was using tiny hook baits, and that's the only claw hooks I had in a size was the size 8, so I've had to go down a bit smaller. Normally I would still fish a size 6, so the hook size may have been a bit of an issue when I changed down, but I was losing fish before I went down to a size 8 claw, and I was losing fish after I changed to a size 8 claw beaked point. So unfortunately my little change didn't seem to pay off in reducing the amount of fish lost. It's just, it is what it is. So yeah, what hooks do you, or sort of patterns do you use? Would you change your hook length because of the barbless rule, or would you make it shorter, make it longer? What would you have done in this situation? Because I have still landed some of the ones I've landed have been hooked exactly where I'd want to have them hooked, the same as when I've used them as the microbarbed. It's just the ones I've lost. I think some have been trailers, some have been cats, and some have just been unfortunately come off. So yeah, 11 lost, 24 landed. We've now got 6 and a bit minutes until I've got to bring this last rod in. So I'm holding out that there might be one sultry fish coming around that bend, and maybe what, 28 pound? That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? I don't think Dan would be too happy. Most other people have packed up now and started making their way down to the car park for the little prize draw. So I do have to bring this in 5 minutes and get down there for the ending. It's been an enjoyable trip. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will round off once I'm down in the car park, but it's been good. I'm exhausted and I got to get home today, playing 5-a-side in what, 6 hours, 6.5 hours. And then tomorrow morning I'm out with Luke filming for 24 hours on a very similar venue to this, Runs Water. So another load of bites, and that's also barbless. So we'll see how we go there, but it should be good fun. And I'm also then on Wednesday doing a podcast with Hassan for the Nash Off the Hook podcast. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then Thursday is the first day in about 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks, I'll actually be able to be at home editing. Maybe a bit of a lion. It's been non-stop. So is my talking in the last segment. Apologies. Come on, one more. No kidding, 5 minutes left. Is it even on? If it's on, it's coming straight towards me. It was a bream. It was a bream. I've ended on a bream and it still came off as well. Well, we've ended the session on a bream that unhooked himself, thankfully, right there. I'm done. I'm done.
Right then, well there we go, the end of the match. More of a social, let's be honest, but yeah, it's been a cracking weekend. I hope everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Shit up.
So we have we've worked out roughly, I think we've had 144 carp between us and 34 cats. Yeah. So yeah, a little productive, I suppose. Won't count the lost fish because that would be slightly embarrassing. But so this year, biggest weight was Dan and Will. What did you get?
27.2.
27.2. So yeah, well done, lads. So once again, you get the benefit of paying to engrave it. You get a saving, Will.
£15 well spent.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, all in all, lads, thank you very much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure spending time with you all again.
Cheers for organising.
Thank
you guys for sorting it all out.
Let's go home. Yeah. All in all, until next year. Again. Next year, we'll see you all again, and get out on the bank, be lucky, and tight lines.
I'd like to thank the new sponsor, Cut Lights, as well.
Take a bin bag with you.
Yay!
And don't forget.
Well, hopefully you were able to hear that okay with the mic setup I used then. I think it was 130 odd carp were caught, 30ish something catfish. I think I caught the most carp, landed the most carp, even though I lost 11. I landed 24 carp. I think the next best was 22, but they also had 5 catfish along with that. But yeah, ridiculous amount of fish come out. Everyone's caught, which is I think a first for the YouTube bloggers match. So everyone's had at least a couple of fish each. Shame I didn't get anything big, but I couldn't have fished any harder than I did. I think on a different day, maybe I would have made a few rig changes a bit sooner, maybe tried bigger hooks or something, but it's all great in hindsight, but never mind. It was a good, enjoyable trip. I hope you enjoyed this video. This will very likely be the only video till the next bloggers match if I'm invited back, but I will try and do some stuff in the future if I can. I do always have the intention of doing it. I do enjoy making my nothing but fishing videos, don't get me wrong. It's just a case of time, and I can't put as much time into this as I used to, because when nothing but fishing used to be really regular, that was when I was only working part-time. So I had a couple of days a week where I could post this stuff. So I'll try and keep this channel ticking over, and yeah, I hope you enjoy them even if they are very few and far between. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you again next time.